I've talked before that my personal favourite way of meeting girls is to simply see a girl that I'm attracted to and go talk to her. And I've met some amazing women this way, and both my life and their lives were enriched by our meeting. And one thing I do is teach guys how to do this successfully. But what do I mean by successfully? Well, one of the most common misunderstandings about talking to girls is that you're going to take some course or get some coaching, and then suddenly you're going to be getting numbers and arranging dates left, right and center, and it's all going to be easy. Well, yes and no, because while there are some guys that almost all women are attracted to, and some guys that virtually no women are attracted to, most of us are actually somewhere in the middle. And that means that one girl might find me attractive and another would never want to date me in a million years. And both assume that every other girl thinks the same way that they do. Day game, the act of going out intentionally to try to meet girls like this, will introduce you to more rejection than you'd ever thought possible. For me, day game is the training to be ready for the times that I don't even expect to see someone I want to talk to, and then suddenly I do. And when I approach, I'm going in with heartfelt kindness and total honesty. If I think a girl is beautiful, I'm not going to say, "Oh, excuse me, do you know if there's a bus going to so-and-so?" because I'm afraid of telling the truth. I'm going to go in and say something like, "Hey, I saw you and I thought you looked really beautiful, and I would have regretted if I didn't come and speak to you. I'm Chris." 100% total honesty, no bullshit, no lies. And on a good day, I might approach 30 girls and get 5 numbers, of which 2 actually reply. But that means I also have to deal with something like 28 rejections, which can range anywhere from, "Oh, thank you, that's so lovely. I have a boyfriend, but if I didn't, I'd love to meet with you because you seem great," to simply looking at you like, "Who the hell is this weirdo? How dare you even think that you could come and talk to someone like me?" And letting none of it affect you. You have to make friends with rejection and let it wash off you. And I think this is really something that is really healthy for your self-esteem. The part of you that really cared what other people thought of you, well, that part needs to grow up pretty fast, because you're going to be exposed to so many different reactions that you come to learn that it's not even really about you as a person, but about how the other person perceives you, which is about how they see the world, which is about how they grew up and how they interpret the things that happen to them. What people think of you is basically none of your business. And when I say it's not really about you, of course, I am making the huge assumption here that the men doing these approaches are the ones who put in the groundwork to become as attractive as possible, not look like some random crackhead off the street. Everyone I teach day game to has done the preliminary work to be in good shape and to dress well. It's not even hard to do in the long run, but of course making some effort to change your life might seem difficult at first. But if you are making that minimum amount of effort into improving yourself, you are already several points ahead of those who do not do those things. But when you get used to rejection, it doesn't become so much about the individual results with each individual girl, but simply the consistency of the process of putting yourself out there. And this is why I wanted to relate it to the concept of Dharma, which has many meanings, but one of which basically means to live your individual responsibilities for the life that you were born into. And if you're a straight man, part of your Dharma is going to be that you are going to have to be the one who makes the first move with women. And you also have to be the one who will face the most rejection. But while you can and should be open to noticing negative patterns and addressing them, if no one likes you, the most important thing is that you are doing your part well, and results will vary. Sometimes you might only get 1 positive response out of 50, and much of it is based on superficial things beyond anyone's control. In summer, for example, you can tell that I'm in good shape. You can see a bicep vein, you can see my abs through my t-shirt sometimes, and I get a lot more, like literally some indicators of attention from women. But in winter, I'm just some brown guy in a coat. And an indicator of interest might just be a glance, but my understanding of Dharma means that if this is someone that I really want to talk to and I'm not committed to anyone else, then I must approach. This is what life requires of me in that moment. And if I fail to do that, then I betray myself and I betray my mission in life. And if you're lucky, such an IOI can be a glance and you make eye contact with her and smile as she passes, And then you look over your shoulder and notice that she's also looking over her shoulder at you. And you go and talk to her, and then you find out that she's got a boyfriend. And as you can tell, this is a true story. But it's still a victory because she totally loved it. You made her day. But the most important thing is that I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part. Are you?
But like I said, in winter, I'm just some brown guy in a coat that no one notices. And then it's my job to choose who I want to approach and roll the dice to see if there's any interest in the conversation. Sometimes a girl who didn't even notice that I existed is really impressed by my bravery to approach a complete stranger and risk making a fool of myself. And still, a single man who can give a heartfelt compliment in total honesty and kindness, well, this is my mission in life. The ones who are meant to be in my life will accept the invitation to be in my life. So if you are a straight man, you are the universe experiencing life as a straight man. And while some things are going to be unique to you, you will be experiencing life along certain pathways. And every being in the universe has its own particular Dharma to live out authentically. Whether you're a human, or dog, or a bee, you're all going to be attracted to certain things, notice certain beauties about the world. And not everyone achieves their end goals, but the biggest self-betrayal, the biggest refusal to take up what life is offering you is to hold back on your authentic words and actions. So when you feel deep in your heart that something is coming from a good place, don't block yourself from saying and doing it. What the other person does with it is their dharma, their responsibility, not yours. The most important thing is to simply play your part and let the kindness and goodness of the universe happen through you. Thank you very much for listening.